The prison had one strict rule. All food sent by family members is cut into small pieces by the guards. Even soap is shaved down to ensure there are no hidden dangerous items. The purpose of all this is to prevent sharp objects from being concealed in food or other items, which could be used by inmates to escape. After all, this cell holds an expert in prison breaks. Mike first used a spoon to pry open the baseboard and take out a hidden small mirror. He then smashed it with the spoon, picked out a long, thin fragment, and wrapped the other pieces in paper. Just as he was about to flush the fragment down the toilet, a guard suddenly barged in for an inspection. Without hesitation, Mike swallowed the fragment. Every prisoner had to undergo a body search and stand by the door. After the search, the guard began a thorough inspection of the cell. Worried that the glass shards would be discovered, Mike took the opportunity to flush the toilet, sending the fragments down the drain. The guard, hearing the toilet, was furious, but Mike calmly claimed he had accidentally bumped it. The guard obviously didn't believe him and searched every nook and cranny, but ultimately found nothing suspicious. Once the guard left, Mike took out a thin string and a toothbrush. He securely tied the mirror fragment to the toothbrush and extended it out of the cell's peephole to observe the guard's movements in the block. By rotating the toothbrush, he could monitor the entire corridor without any blind spots. This makeshift periscope was crucial for their upcoming escape plan. One inmate was responsible for watching the door, while Mike skillfully dismantled the bed leg. They moved the cardboard boxes in the corner and used a spoon to pry open the floorboards underneath. Then they wrapped the bed leg in a handkerchief and began chiseling the cement below. To cover the loud noise, they had bribed the inmate next door to break his toilet so that the sound of repairing it would mask their chiseling. At this point, Mike's accomplice noticed two guards approaching, but Mike didn't slow down at all. As he said, it was too late to hide now. They had to go all in. The two guards walked by without stopping. After all, they had just been thoroughly searched, so this was their safest moment. After repeated efforts from the group and over an hour of work, they finally broke through the floor. Mike then lit a piece of paper and dropped it into the hole. With wind blowing in, this indicated the hole was connected to something, but to where, no one knew. They then dumped all the rubble and soil into the hole and decided to investigate it that night. After finishing, they restored the floor to its original state. But how would they deal with the guards' nightly inspections? In the evening, they made two dummies out of cardboard boxes and tied the arms and thighs to strings. By pulling the strings, the boxes would mimic body movements to fool the guards during their rounds. Inspection time soon arrived. The two quickly hid in a blind spot. Success or failure hung in the balance. The guard had to confirm the head count through the peephole. A few inmates waved their arms, but one had his head covered while his body writhed from time to time. The guard didn't notice anything unusual and left after closing the peephole. It seemed their cardboard dummies and string pulling technique were coordinated well enough to trick a guard who wasn't looking closely. Next, Mike took out a spoon and unscrewed the table corner, taking out a hacksaw blade from inside. They lifted the floorboards in the corner, revealing the hole they had dug earlier that day, and the two climbed in one after the other. Their accomplice in the cell lowered a rope with a stone tied to it, then covered the floor back up, with the other end of the rope tied to another accomplice's ankle. This way, when they returned, they could signal with the rope. Below was a cellar. To escape, they had to saw through the iron bars in front of them, so he took out the hacksaw and started sawing. To avoid being discovered by patrolling guards, they would stop every 20 strokes to listen intently for any movement around them. Getting caught by the guards would completely expose the escape plan and could even cost them their lives. However, the grate was made of metal and couldn't be sawed through in a short time. Mike had no choice but to take turns working with his accomplice. After half an hour of joint effort, the grate was finally cut. They then hurriedly climbed through the window into what seemed like a basement. Originally planning to find a passage to escape, they discovered that all the exits were tightly locked with iron doors no matter where they went. Left with no other option, Mike had to put the grate back in place. Just then, he noticed a pile of discarded windows and realized the bolts could be sawed off to use as keys. Mike had just started sawing a bolt